what up, and welcome back to another episode of the Project Webtoon Podcast, your hottest, latest podcasting out there for all of those top quality webtoons we got going. You know, Got a High School, Lore Olympus, Let's Play, motherfucking Mookhyang, Dark Lady, Peerless Dad, and so many more. Of course, before we get into it, I want you to go down there and hit that smash that like button down below if you enjoyed the episode, and definitely hit that bell so you can subscribe to us and get notified of all of the latest content as it comes out from us. But not to be too long-winded into this, I'm of course your host, your big man. It is Sleepy.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Seraph here.
Hey.
This is Arc Dragoon.
All back in it, all to win. How's it going, fellas?
It's going okay. How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. This week was a little long. It was a little, it definitely dragged a bit for me, but I got some good reads out of the way. Lots of stuff dropped. I caught up on everything, and it was pretty good. I definitely didn't get a chance to watch our other homies podcasts out there with the Hunter Association, but I'm glad to hear that the bet got settled.
Oh yeah, try watching slide.
I also saw that Angry Woo was trending a little bit.
Yeah, Evil Woo.
It's evil. Okay,
yeah, so we got Evil Woo in the building.
Okay, because I saw. Okay, then it evolved because I saw a few people posting Angry Woo. So then we got Angry and Evil Woo on the radar. But yeah, so a lot of hot stuff coming with solo leveling. And a few other great ones out there. I don't know if you guys got a chance to read up on the new chapter of Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint.
Actually,
yes.
Yeah. You did it today? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I went to go to the hood scans, catch the 23. I was on the webtoon reading it, and I was like, all right, cool, let me go to the hood scans.
Yep. I did like that chapter, but I also noticed that there was a new chapter also for Cultivator Against Hero Society, which I thought was going to be canceled from a lot of our webtoon things because it got picked up apparently, but I think someone else jumped in and is now scanning it because I don't know if anyone got a good copy because mine was off. Like there had to be panels missing. What's up? You.
Hood scans for the win.
I'll have to check it out and see. I don't know. But either way, so lots of hot stuff to talk about this week for sure, especially with our homeboy over in solo leveling. The fight has ended with Peerless Dad, so we've got some things to talk about there. We're definitely going to get into our first time over with Lore Olympus. I got some interesting questions for Arc since he seems to be good at doing the extra research on the mythology as well. So
I like it.
Art has read the mythology. I have not.
I've read some of the mythology too, but I haven't gone to that extra length and gone in and done the digging to some of the backstories and pre-stuff for some of the mythology. So, but yeah, I don't want to hold off on too long and just jump right in to some hot topics. All right, here. Let's actually move along here with our first one out of the gate. Let's go see what the Dark Lady is doing. I know the last one we got our homeboys making it to the palace, and we were trying to figure out, or at least speculate exactly what was going to be going down or what their new roles would be. But in this newest chapter, we do get a layout that they're going to be there. They are his guardsmen. They are basically going to be his forefront forces, and also I sent that post earlier with Seraph there. He looks so pretty. Everyone was shocked seeing Arc in adult, or I don't know if this is teen form or adult form. I'm not sure which Gohan we're dealing with here.
I mean,
very pretty. I get my hands sliced off.
It's a teenager, young adult.
This might be young adult, teenager.
Young adult.
Okay.
More than likely a young adult.
Okay.
Jimmy's like, no, it has to be of legal age.
It has to be. Hey,
listen.
18 is still at the word teen in it.
I'll tell you a minute. That means 19 too. But wait, Dark is 78. This don't matter.
I was gonna say he's over 90 years old, isn't he? It don't matter.
It's cultural ages don't make a difference. It's just like,
Aaliyah told us age ain't nothing but a number. And I'm gonna go with that. But yeah, so we're into the castle, or at least our lands, and he's starting to dictate out what's basically gonna go on. And then we got a surprise visit from our old maid cat rolling in, and basically she gives us actually a nice, even though it's a minor exposition, a nice amount of dialogue, basically going over like this entire castle does not have staff. Like they just basically gave him land.
They gave you a building.
And nothing else. So it's pretty much 100% empty. And she just basically starts going down the list of like, so we need cooks, we need other maids, we need stable hands. It's like, so he's just like, well, can you just go get him? She's like, I don't know how to talk to people. It's like, it's fine. We'll figure it out. We'll come together with this. The logistics will work out.
How many people do we need? Well, we need like 3.
Well, yeah. Funny enough, just 3.
Don't worry, I got this.
I don't know if that's like her basing it on like the Beastman's personality. Like we can do a lot more than a normal person can. So I only really need maybe a couple of other people. I
would say like at least 15 people.
Yeah.
A lot of the things in the cat.
I mean, not just, I mean, you're not just worrying about like the logistics of, you know, maintenance, but also defense. Someone's got to be handling all of like the other inner workings.
Defense? We're talking about Darky, hold on.
I mean, you think Dark, but I mean, you think Dark is going to stay.
There's a difference in like protecting yourself and like a couple handful of people.
Yeah.
Compared to like, you know, he now owns like a plot of land and the people that live there. So
he's got, you know, you got to protect the king's folk. You know, he's not worried about protecting himself, but Dark is not going to be out in the middle of the field tracing back and forth, waiting for people to come by. This isn't what's her name on the bridge, just jacking folks as they're coming into town.
Oh, from way back when.
Way back when. All the way back.
Hey, she got robbed.
I mean, you know, that's how it's got to be. I'm trying to remember everything that happened in this chapter. What else we got?
Speaking of way back when,
yep.
We get to see the very first family.
Yeah, Dark just goes and gets the first family back as like, hey, I need you guys to come work for me. And no one would believe that he was a woman again.
Oh, that's like, right.
All right, let me point at my dick and then your crotch area too.
Well, point at my skirt and then point at your skirt. I do like that the little girl is the one to recognize first by because he checks the hand. He's like, no, this is you're seeing this again the same time, and she just instantly goes, oh, I know. But the mom's a little bit more skeptical about it. I kind of wondering how the 2 boys are going to react to this, especially. I know that the son is probably going to be super excited to join up because he basically tried to run away the first time to become an adventurer. Mm-hmm. So this will basically give him his just reward of what he was waiting for. But of course, we got the nice little scene with the dog again. The only one that really matters to Dark out of all of this. The dog.
How are you?
Yes. You remember. I'm loved. So much loved. But yeah, so nice that that the author decided to actually go all the way back and pull these characters back into Dark's life again, which is surprising. Because usually they seemed like they might have been just like big, easy throwaway characters, but no, he's bringing it back in. I was
gonna lie, I was hoping they were gonna come back. And now they back. But bring out a whole ass, you know.
But
we're gonna teach you everything.
Well, that's kind of funny though. But if that's true, if they're bringing back the family, what's the chances he's gonna run into Homegirl again? And what if he actually asks her to join it with the group? I mean, he's got money now. He's got a title and status.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find out.
It seems like it would seem like a really lucrative job to go with. Not to mention, she also, I'm guessing she works for like a thieves guild or something. So she's got some level of connection, which would probably be very useful to, gather information for Dark, which he is definitely going to need. But yeah, so this is this was definitely more of anything just a setup chapter of what's to come for sure. We still got a lot of other things that we're worried about or we're wondering about seeing. The Aqua Ring has been pretty quiet. She hasn't made a peep or come out and done anything yet. Daddy Dragon hasn't shown up and screamed that he misses his lovely daughter. I'm kind of wondering if he's gonna show up and just cry or something, and they're just gonna like, what the fuck is this? I feel like that's gonna
Dragon crying. Hold on.
Like they're gonna freak out and they're gonna go into full defense for him, and he's gonna come down in human form and just be like, my daughter, and everyone's gonna be like, what? But yeah, a lot.
I just walked away at that point.
I know. I'm sure you would.
Man, there's too many things going on.
I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this right now.
I gotta be in the dream. There's a dragon here. I believe it.
Yeah, but a lot more to come with that one. Any future expectations or hopes from you on this, or anything I might have missed in the background, possibly?
No, it's just one chapter. We'll see where this goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that we'll probably get the next chapter probably tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna guess. We're right at that middle point because they usually drop somewhere between like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, so we might have just missed it. But either way, we'll definitely keep everyone informed next time and have more to talk about, hopefully, once we see what comes out from there. But we'll keep moving along here, going from the lady to the dad over in the Peerless world. Brother now has finished the fight with our homeboy, and I'm not sure what was going on. He was in that bed and he was having the dream, and then he wakes up and then just blood everywhere. And I was like, is this recoil, or is this like him opening up, meridians again? I didn't know what it was. Any thoughts on that one? Just straight up, just a dream of the master, and then just looks like he just gets like the 100-hand slap all over his body.
It's more like a not like an epiphany. What's it? It's a breakthrough. That's what it is. It's a breakthrough.
Is it a breakthrough?
Yeah.
He's finally past that bottleneck he was at.
Because the
saw it earlier on.
Because what it was he was like, I don't want to fight that thing because that's from our sect. And master in his mind was like, no, that is a lump of flesh. That is nothing like us.
Well, a lump of dirt or a lump of mud.
A lump of flesh.
Yeah. And
he's like, he comes to the terms realizing that there is a difference between what he does and they do. So.
Well, it may have been a realization. It may have been that. I didn't know it would. I didn't think it would give that much of a very devastating looking recoil. Just straight cough up blood and everything. Especially when he was on the what looked like another operating table again. But right after that, it moves us over to the I cannot remember. She's not the sword master. I forget what she's called again. But one teacher lady, she is
one of the dragons.
One of the dragons, but she's talking with her other advisors about the attack that happened, as well as one of the generals coming back basically from meeting the opposition that was supposedly that they thought they were fighting, and then basically confirming that this whole incident was not actually an attack or an invasion that was started by either side, but it was this group that was just rolling around and just murdering folk. So he basically goes, it was, he gives him a sword and tells him.
From what I can glean from what it sounded like was the sword clan from the unorthodox side wanted to use the Iron Demon God.
We're talking what's his name's dad, right?
What?
Are you talking to what's his name's dad?
He the kid's dad, what he did was they only like perpetuated things for things to get going along, but it was actually the Sword Clan that wanted to use the demon god to like for whatever purpose, but it failed because they ended up provoking the demon god, and which is like this group of these also like sub demon gods, best you could say.
So I was gonna say,
right?
before you even continue on there, so you want to break down the idea of that information we got, not just demon god, but very specifically an iron demon.
Okay, so it's you have to understand what how cultivation actually works with like abilities and practices and techniques here. So we would say there is the orthodox, otherwise also known as heavenly techniques, which is to seek the Tao, right? So you try to seek and understand the meaning of life, basically. And then we have the unorthodox side, which is they do not follow the same steps as the orthodox side, but they are not necessarily evil themselves. They just use techniques that are completely different. Like the dad in the story, he's an unorthodox practitioner. Because his technique is basically, no, I beat you to death until like you learn how to be strong. Do you understand this? Where otherwise, other techniques where like, you know, you watch the Dragon Association where they teach the kids, that is an orthodox practice. And then we have the demonic practice, which is like, no, I cheat any way possible in order to get strength. And that would be like the Iron Demon God. And like most unorthodox practitioners could end up, they walk a fine line between not being a demonic or not, which is why most of the time the orthodox side was like, no, we consider all unorthodox still our enemies, because you never know when they might like basically snap.
Well, what side they may end up choosing, because they're in that fine line.
Which is why like the sword clan here, which the dragons they ended up fighting against here, because they thought, you know, they were against each other. The sword clan is considered an unorthodox branch, basically.
Okay, so now you're saying that they actually were using him and he just got out of control, and that's how it played out? Because I didn't really see it as that way.
No, it wasn't that they were using him. They attempted to try to use it, but it failed, because all they did was just end up provoking him, because that's why the way that the technique that specific technique works is be like, no, it's like the dad's technique, except driven to a point where it's a demonic technique now, where
it seems like the moment, or the breaking point is they stop feeling pain, and it all just becomes
you stop
pleasure.
Feeling pain, you no longer feel anything at all besides, no, just hit me harder, basically.
You just feel the pleasure from it. Pinhead would love them. But I was more on the fact that they actually bring up that there are 5 elements in this world for them. It's not just, you know, normally like water, wind, or water, air, fire. No, and in some level, they actually break it down with having earth and metal.
Fire, earth, wood, metal, and wind.
Yeah.
Or water. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's usually like there's the 4 or there's the 5, and this is the 5 here. So
and for this one, they said that, you know, he was an iron demon, but the master for her said that she'd faced one prior, and I believe they said that he was he wasn't a wood.
Earth.
He was an earth demon.
I thought it was Earth.
Yeah. The real key thing there, though, is that when she brings up talking about it in the past, is that she was at the time the apprentice, and her master was fighting against it, and they very nearly defeated that demon, but it took multiple versions or multiple people to take it down. And with this one, they're like, well, no one else was in this fight, at least no one at high level.
I think they fought against the Iron Demon here, though. That's what that was.
Well, I mean, most of it was done by now more than anything. That was the thing, is that none of those guys that was coming up, I would say, are anywhere near the Heavenly Dragon Master levels. They are definitely advanced warriors, but not to those levels.
I believe what it seems like is that these were like the because demonic cults still exist, so these guys were like part of that Iron Demon demonic cult is what it is. And I believe it's more like they're talking about like how the Iron Demon still actually exists, and which is why they have a fucking problem. Like,
it seems that they're not.
Is that why that now's master was like, if you find somebody as sturdy as you or even sturdier, run?
Yeah.
Because he knew about the Iron Demon cult.
Well, yes. It seems that there are just demon cults all over, or it's specifically for these elements that they breed out, and it doesn't seem like they breed out a crap ton of them. There's usually one super strong one, but they're very either underground or hidden, or they just kind of pop up wherever.
I don't know if I would say there are 5. I would say it's more like the technique you use, it resonates with towards that element. It doesn't necessarily mean there are only 5 cults.
No, I didn't mean that there were 5. I'm just saying that, that there are other ones around. They just kind of pop up wherever, just because of these people practicing it, and then they eventually either exceed to that level. I didn't mean that there were only 5 of them around, because they said, as they seemed to even say in the story, they're not even sure where they come up from or how many of them there actually are. They just know that more will potentially appear because of this. So, but the thing that they're just at least displaying that, someone of great strength would need to normally be, or multiple people of great strength would need normally to be around in order to take one of them down. And yet, when they were discussing the fight, none of those kinds of people were around, and they're trying to determine now beat essentially this demon on his own. Granted, he did have help with more or less fodder to give the demon, but
I don't know if that's how I read it. I read it more like, no, the Iron Demon is still a problem, right? Like like the Iron Demon god is still out there.
Well,
and then when she thought about him, she was like, I feel like their techniques are similar, is what it is. I don't think they actually realize, I don't think he actually fought against the Iron Demon god, though.
I'd have to check in the text on that one again. I think he fought at least the version of it, because she declares him as the Iron Demon god, or an Iron Demon.
Yeah, as an Iron Demon, but I think because if it's true that what it is it would have to take that about 16 to 20 people of their caliber in order to defeat one. I don't think the MC would even still be strong enough to beat him, right? Even with the help of the guys who did help him, that's seems problematic. It feels like it's more that's why it's
more referential to something else.
Referential, hey, there are problems out there, and there's an Iron Demon god that we have to eventually deal with. And it sounds like the sword clan was like, hey, it was our bad. Let me give you this sword in apology for what happened, and we will deal with this problem ourselves. We will deal with the sword. We will deal with the Iron Demon god.
Well, supposedly with them, it sounds like they were also, because it sounds like they still had the body of the guy. So they told him that they would give them any information that they recover or glean from it. And that's it seemed what at least the Heavenly Sword Association was trying to gain on top of just, getting to the bottom of what was really going down. So I'm not even sure if, the Sword Clan even 100% knew what it is they were even dealing with, because if they're going to take him for experimentation just to learn more, I'd figure that if they were just playing with a Pandora's box, hoping that they'd get something really, really fucking boss out of it, it seems like it was kind of iffy, just to say the least. But so we've got, at least from what you're saying with Gleam, that we've got at least one, we've finally got the breakthrough. I don't know what bonuses and benefits will come from that. Hopefully a pair of clean clothes, so you can get all the blood off. But I don't know. I also don't know how long he'll be out. But we're still waiting to hear back from the kids and what they're doing as well, because Sister is about to basically take on Homeboy. And yeah, I just from this one, I know that we're gonna at least hopefully get something good. I don't know if we're ramping up to something finally. If maybe even if the demon god is supposed to be the thing that will be the sub boss villain for now to actually beat. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more information from that. I'm still 100% still trying to figure out exactly what the other dad's role is in all this. I know that you said that he's basically the overall espionage dude that's kind of causing all of the chaos, or sowing the seeds of discontent, but I don't know exactly 100% what for, outside of just ruining Miram.
He just doesn't think. It's more like when Tokugawa took over during the shogunate. It's just a time for a change, and Miram doesn't need to exist anymore. Basically, is what it is.
Okay, So just the world needs a revolution. Essentially, we need just to go through a renaissance.
There's just a problem when the strong like exist like this is what it is.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if there's anything else that you two wanted to pick up on from that chapter or those two chapters that we got from Peerless Dad.
There was nothing about the kids.
Unfortunately, no. We didn't get anything back to the kids. I'm sure hopefully in the next chapter we'll conclude that fight or that brawl, whatever we'll call that. I'm not quite sure.
You get to see the sister kick some ass.
I'm kind of hoping for
see what she's learning.
I'm hoping that it's the entire chapter, not just like a few panels and that kid's KO'd.
People getting off screen.
I would really hope it wouldn't turn out to be that. But yeah, so more to come on that one. Hopefully, definitely. If you definitely hit us up in the comments below with your thoughts on that chapter, especially with all that's going on. I did not expect Peerless Dad to have so much, like, at least other levels of thinking that's going on within the world, even though it seems pretty simplistic, because I don't know if it's just I'm not catching some things, but also just people playing all kinds of other games and just Brother Now being somehow involved in all of it.
And I wish Red Storm was written as well.
Hey, I like my Red Storm. I like the way exactly it is. I don't need any more extra on top of that sometimes. Not to mention I got some serious blue balls from the last chapter. Oh my god. Have you caught up, Seraph?
No.
I will just say the fight, the maximum fight between Yulian and Homeboy is no. It's just no. I feel I feel so hurt by what happened there, but let's not go down that path this time. Let's move on here to a new one for us that I'm hoping that we will have a lot to discuss on with Lore Olympus up in the heavens. Now, I don't think we'll need to go through a full run through of this story, but essentially if you've read the history or read the mythology for Persephone and Hades, you kind of know where this story is, but with a little bit of twist on things.
Does it slightly bother? Okay, I understand that this is the way.
What's the bother?
I understand that this is the way the webtoon is, but is it weird that they're still set in like ancient Greek and Roman, which is why like when they go to like Earth, everything is still like old school, but then Hades itself, hell itself, is very
is modern.
Yeah, it is. I understand. If you look up the etymology on the name Hades and stuff, and like what it's supposed to mean and all this stuff, cool, that's great. And it's meant to be like, oh, it's like a coveted treasure, kind of, basically, to like, it's kind of hard to explain. So
use your words.
It's like it's meant for like coveted treasure is the best way, I guess. I can think of the top of my head, right? So I understand why it's supposed to look pretty, but is it weird that it's like a modern city that,
they got cars, they got banks, they got like.
I mean,
literally everything.
I mean, it makes...
No. Banks existed in Greek and Roman
times.
They did.
Though. That's where we get a lot of our. I mean, where else do you think we got our whole financial systems from? But
they got technology.
I don't feel it's weird.
Facebook.
I mean, yeah. I mean, okay. You're gonna definitely have to give the artist some creative license there. She's clearly pulling from, real world. She doesn't completely want to keep things 100%, but also it shows a nice juxtaposition between, the two areas we're in most of the time, with Olympus keeping things kind of the same way, following like the old modern Roman Greek times. Even then, like, you'll see.
I mean, if she took the liberty of doing this to Hades, she could have just done the same to be like the real world and be like, oh, this is like an alternate world where.
Well, I mean, okay. Hades is in hell. He has full domain. He can do whatever he wants.
No. Their hell is also named Hades.
Yes,
right?
I know it is. Yes. But still, he can do whatever he wants, and he even Persephone even asked him about it too, and he brings it up. He's like, I just don't like the look. I like everything to be clean, and I like structure. So it kind of makes sense that his whole view for his world would have a modern aesthetic to it, where everything's kind of clean and in its place. But I mean, when people come to Hades, you know, when he greets them, he goes back to, you know, the normal attire for what they're supposed to see. So, you know, he doesn't instantly come to them in a business suit or anything. So, in the same way, when Zeus or any of the other gods come down, they usually put on suits when they come down to his area. Even though when they go back up, they're usually always in the robes and everything. So, I'm fine with it showing like two different kinds of worlds, especially with having the way that Hades' mindset is. So, it doesn't completely bother me. I could see it being a little weird in a lot of regards, but not 100%. Was that the only thing that really bothered you about this? Was that the...
Currently.
Okay. I'm sure with time we'll find something else in there, but let's actually get into discussion with the chapter that's currently going on. Seraph, how about you take this one, since I know you just read it, I believe. Or you and I are actually further ahead, comparably.
Yeah, they're on a hunt for Persephone.
Mm-hmm.
And Hades is extremely worried. Hecate is worried. Artemis, everybody is worried. And, you know, Apollo being Apollo is still a dick bag. And I really liked it when Hades tries to sees the girl with the comb, and he's like, "Give me that comb back!" And she's like, "No, you're a jackass. He's the king of hell." You know?
Everyone who is a peasant believes that Hades is a fucking jackass. Because all they do is like, oh no, the three kings, they do whatever the fuck they want. Because I've had this discussion with other people where it's like, no, it's because Zeus and Poseidon are fucking like,
well, they perpetuate
assholes.
They just perpetuate dumb shit. So it just...
Even if Hades was like a perfect person, unfortunately he's part of their family, and he's like, yeah, unfortunately I'm perpetuated with these guys. Even like he's like, no, I don't want to go out with you two because all you're going to do is drag me to the fucking strip club, and I don't want to be seen there, but I am known there because you two were there. Do you understand this? So it's
he's only getting dragged along.
You know, it's like. That's why I was like, consider like, you know what? Even in the original story, even in original Greek and Roman mythology, Pluto or Hades, they are like the only god who kind of does like little to nothing bad. Even kidnapping Persephone, well, I would consider it like, you do realize that the only sort of relationship advice he has is from like
the two worst kind of people. a huge misogynistic asshole and a fucking drinker.
Hades isn't accountable for his actions, but unfortunately the only advice he got was like, yeah, just go and like take this girl, okay? Like,
I mean, okay. But
lore, like Zeus gave Hades permission. He was like, yeah, go ahead, even though Persephone is Demeter and my daughter. Like, he was like, yeah, go ahead, just go ahead, do whatever you want, because
okay.
Like,
well, we have to at least give a change of the fact that's here is that Hades does not get advice or take any advice from his brothers. He very much has his own set of personalities to this. We even see a bit of a few flashbacks of him in his younger years and how he's been. So he's kind of at least gained some sense of, you know, right and wrong and good responsibility.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Like, at least, but unfortunately, he's like tied with the rest of the family.
He's tied to a family that has. I mean, the idea of just, you know, high class people and the lower class people. You know, it's all that bullshit. And also being a part of a family name that just has far other implications that he doesn't want to be a part of. But yeah, even when it comes down to it, him being the king of hell, and then he sees this comb and he tries to get it from this lady, you know, normally to his actual personality and how he handles himself, you'd figure, oh, he would actually, you know, explain things first and try and, you know, talk things out. But yet, the moment that emotions get high, he instantly acts exactly like his brothers. He just tries to take something because it's of importance or anything without explaining it. And
I mean, he is used to a certain quality of life, right? He's like, people obey me when I tell them to do things.
Well, I mean, you figure everyone should know who he is. I mean, you literally live in a city, in a place in a city named after him.
I don't think the old lady didn't know who he was. I feel like she was just like, no, fuck you, I paid for this.
I mean, but honestly,
I was right to take my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I'm sure that some of the peasants have been there, or the people have been there long enough that they probably don't even notice. Because I mean, Hades also likes to be a very private person. You know, I mean, what did he do to the guy who fucking took a picture of him and Persephone? Yeah, he doesn't like to be in the spotlight. So it's not hard to see that people might just like write it off. Like, yeah, we have a king, but I don't ever see him. He doesn't really make announcements or do anything. He keeps to himself. So, but
his job.
Yeah. So he he freaks out, he gets the comb, and basically from there, he gets the information that, she got it from pawn shop. And that's when he starts running around to each one to trying to figure out any information that he can from them. And surprisingly enough, when they go, what does Hector say about that? There's like the number of pawn shops there are, and there's like 3.5 or something.
7.5.
Or 7.5. And he asks, like, what the hell does a half mean? and they find the one that's just like literally just a hole in the wall, and he's like, that. But the fact that when he does try to get the information from them, he does the same thing where it's like, give me what I want kind of thing. He's like, don't you know who I am? It's like, we have a privacy policy. And the whole bit of like, I can break the rules. I'm the one that sets the rules. Like, well, we can't break the rules even for you because you set the rules. So I think in this one, we do get the information at least about like, who actually gave it to him, she pawned it off, and it was Persephone, and that she was that she is somewhere in Hades. She's somewhere in the realm. We just don't know where she's hiding.
No, we don't know she's still in the realm.
Did we not get that from?
No, all we got told was that Persephone looked like a desperate girl trying to run away from something. That's all we got. Oh. We don't know if she's still in Hades itself. Okay,
well, we just know that she's pawned it for money to try and do something. But yeah, so the lookout is still going on. Now in this one, did we meet back up with Apollo yet?
No.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, so that's for the later chapters. I know I'm trying to make sure I'm not trying to spoil things because I know I've jumped up a bit, but
you too.
I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. Hey, they're there. I am happy to give her money. She's doing good work. Seraph, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to touch on the Persephone being in the underworld. Mm-hmm. She literally says that it's the perfect place.
No, she says that she likes it, but she never said, because what happens is the girl at the pawn shop asks her like, what are you doing here in the underworld and stuff like that, and she just says, oh, it's a perfect place and stuff, but she doesn't at any point say that, like, the pawn shop girl does not say that she knows that Persephone is still here in the underworld though.
No. But
it's still a good implication that she's still probably.
But we do get the implication that she's still probably running around. Well, not only that, but it seems like, it's the one place the sun doesn't shine really. No one from Olympus above really can look down at this realm and see where anybody's at. So you kind of have to come down there and search. So it seems like it would be the best place to hide because she can't go back home. Because she doesn't.
I mean, she could.
Well, she kind of doesn't want to, and she kind of really can't because it's probably the first place they would run for her. There isn't really too many other places she can hide because she's been so closed off from the rest of Olympus. She hasn't really made any external friends, and college hasn't really been great for her because of the relationship with Hades. So she's got few people she can go to and people she can trust. And, out of most places that you could run to, well, where's one place most people wouldn't think to look for you at? So I would say at least guess that would be the best bet, but we'll see in those later chapters exactly what goes down. Now, God, I don't even want to talk with Apollo and all of the bullshit that motherfucker.
You mean you don't want to talk about the lore behind Apollo and that new girl he picked up?
Oh God, I don't. Yeah, I even saw the comment right away. Someone commented on that, and I'm just like, this is gonna get. I don't know. Maybe I don't know how much he'll keep towards that same lore, but I'm sure that he's gonna use and or hurt her in some way, just because he does not at all see to be above that in any level. Granted, he sounds like he's got straight up delusions of grandeur all over.
You mean he is definitely Zeus's son?
I mean, yeah, very, very much. But yeah, so a lot of fun with these. I've been really enjoying my read for this. I've read through it fairly quickly, and even fast past it because I just kind of
I started reading it like 2 days ago when I'm caught up.
Yeah, don't shake your head at me.
Shake your head at me.
I don't need any of that judgment over here. Either way, I definitely wanted. I know that we've been waiting to pick this one up. I definitely want to hear from some fans and from other folk that either watch this or what they think of it, and how much of the mythology they've read into, how they're enjoying it. Especially what their theories are on exactly how everything's going to play out, because we've got pretty much a conspiracy on top of conspiracy on top of conspiracy with going on. Who's gonna either break first or who's gonna get theirs, because there's a lot of folks in here that deserve some quick backhands for sure.
A lot.
So many
Thetis Thanatos.
Just so many thirsty motherfuckers in there, so many. But yeah, so hopefully with the next one we'll definitely have more to discuss on that. I definitely look forward to it, especially with Ark, and this is at least one that he says he likes. So I usually take that as a good sign for a story, at least how it's played out so far. But we'll keep moving on here to our next one. Let's actually move back up in the world and become a true master in the solo leveling realm. Seraph.
Oh man.
Yeah, buddy.
Showing up last minute to come save his sister.
You know it. The only way the MC can. Come on.
Flying in on a freaking dragon.
You couldn't write a more perfect fairy tale like entrance.
I swear.
And we were right. That was what's her name from way back when.
Yeah,
that he took into the dungeon.
Girl.
Yep. But no. Well, Big Brother makes his entrance into the fray, especially with the one-off of "Don't move, don't talk. I will deal with you in a second."
You shut up and wait.
To
Garo Cricket.
But
I ain't even gonna try.
Very much, but right after, sister just crying, and he's, all right, I will take care of this. Summons up a few shadows, tells them, you all take them out. I'm gonna make a mess.
He used Kaisel as a whole ass elevator.
He did. And he used Ingress he used all the other regular shadows to escort the rest of the kids, but Ingress is very specifically taking his sister out. So he puts one of his strongest on guard duty to make sure. And that's when he very much, he does not pull out weapons. He is mad enough that he is doing this all hands. And those panels, running, I don't even know if I'd call that running. That boy is basically pulling out people like sand, just chunks. Those panels of him just rolling in and just, all right, so there goes a shoulder, there's a rib cage, there's a whole just chest cavity gone. He just makes mincemeat out of every one of these high rank orcs and just leaves the captain straight up just shook. Just, I don't even know what I was doing here. He doesn't have any clue. And rolls up on him, and I think he chokes. He starts to choke him out, and
uses the Dominator's touch right off.
Using the Dominator's touch right off the bat,
slams him into the wall, dude. slams the leader into the wall, and the leader is going to try and talk his way out of it.
I mean, if you can't fight, go to the next best option. you gotta do something.
That's not what happened. The leader didn't try to completely talk his way out of it.
I mean,
Jinwoo did ask him questions.
He started to ask questions, but
and it's just the voice in his head is saying to constantly kill humans. Jinwoo asks him, "So do you not consider me a human then?"
Well, he asked him, "What does the voice say to you?"
It's because they recognize that he's a monarch. That's what it is.
Well, it's not that they recognize that he's a monarch, but very specifically,
they didn't recognize that he's a monarch.
Yeah, he didn't.
He's very powerful.
But very specifically,
they specifically call him the monarch.
No. Not the orcs. Not the orcs.
The undead did.
The undead do. We haven't gotten to that point. The orcs don't, but he's asking them what the voice in their head is, because this is a reference back to the old chapter when he's fighting the elves, that when he speaks with them, they get the twinge or the voice in their head that tells them to kill humans, but when they see him, they don't get that voice. Something doesn't tell them to kill them because he's no longer human, at least into the system's plan. He's not a human anymore. So they may still attack him on sight just because he's an unknown entity, but they're not doing it because of actual rule or an actual feeling or thought to do it. But when we get over to Beerus and what they're doing over in the dungeon and just eating up all the high level enemies and leaving nothing for any of the other guild. When they get to the chamber of the Lich,
he did.
I mean, that
was perfect.
He gets to the chamber of the Lich, and the Lich asks him, and he goes, "Why is the monarch's shadows attacking us?" He doesn't. They're questioning it because essentially they believe that the monarch should be one of them. But that's when he gives them, he goes, "You talk too much." Why talk too much for someone who's already dead? But this, I know that this, I'm not sure if this came up in discussion with you on the Hunters Association, but the fact that we're getting more information, at least now, knowing that, I thought of this, that he's not just no longer a human, but the fact that the Lich, or not the Lich, but the monarch might actually be an entity to itself, and it's actually inside of him. And that's maybe what they're sensing, and that he's actually supposed to be one of them. He's a vessel or to the monarch, but that he's one of them. The same way that I think that now the other people or other beings we've seen, they're not actual, they have their own individual persons, they're monarchs of them, but they're actually entities that hold the monarchs, and that they aren't supposed to attack each other. Or at least they're supposed to meet up for something, and that definitely leads into the idea that why when the madam didn't see the light in him, that he's not a king, but he's also not essentially on their side. Mm-hmm. And also leading from Homeboy's warning that something evil is within him, definitely plauses that back up more and more. Now that Evil Wu might seem like a much more viable idea of what's to come, because he's not seen as human anymore, and the system doesn't really at least do anything against him in a lot of ways. And now at least undead recognize him as stronger, but they also recognize him as the true ruler of their realm.
King, as we've seen a couple chapters ago when he was running past
yes.
the undead, all kneel to him.
Yes, and the fact that he's one of the only humans that speaks the tongue of all the other monsters. They can understand him.
Mm-hmm.
So this leads more into that he's now technically possibly just an outside walking boss. Maybe.
Yes.
I'm guessing whatever Smiles did, maybe Smiles was actually a more or less a test to find someone suitable or a vessel suitable for the monarch, and it basically implants itself in him. But this could explain why the same way that Dad went into a portal, disappeared for years on end, and then wound up outside of another portal on the other side of the world. Because we know that it seems that, the portals can, not 100%, but the portals may be connected in some way. But Dad may also no longer be a human himself either. That could explain why he's so much more powerful. That's why he's so much more powerful than everyone else he's come up across. He may be another monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How about you, Seraph? Thoughts on that?
Personally, I can't say anything because I've read a light novel.
Oh, okay.
That's why I've been so quiet about it and just going. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good God. All you light novel
It's
readers.
like with Art reading the beginning after the end light novel.
I mean, he's just a bad person, though.
Oh, I'm just a bad person.
I mean,
everything.
I mean, are you telling me you're not?
But the thing I really like most about this chapter is how the Lich King goes, I shall personally report to the monarch, saying that he knows Jinwoo.
Which is
reality,
weird. Yeah, which is weird.
I can't continue that sentence. Hold on, I have to stop myself.
We're getting ahead. God, I hate when we have the light novels and everything running so tandem or far ahead. It's just like, well, oh, all right. Well, I'm not going to try and probe too much any further into this, since I know you have more information than you can disseminate without completely spoiling what's to come.
Yes.
But yeah, so I was just at least happy for at least some of those thoughts that I got from seeing what I saw. Not overthinking and overanalyzing it or being super underwhelmed as Ark is about it. Because as we know, sometimes we all can't have, Shakespearean level wants from our artwork. But yeah. But
I don't ask for much.
You ask for a whole lot. You know that. You do know that. We coined a phrase for you because of this. You do know this, right? Yeah. So
when we coined it.
Huh?
Yimmy wasn't there when we coined it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Seraph, we have a coined word for So when Ark has problems with certain things, we call them truisms now, because they're very personal down to him. When something isn't exactly as a perfect level, and you're like, okay, is this really something that's wrong with the story that everyone else will have a problem with, or is it just specifically you? It's a truism.
When I all I do is I look at one thing, I'm like, no, this doesn't make sense. No.
Or it does, but it's not to the level of sense that he would like it to be.
just tear it apart.
As we said before, this man is transcended.
I mean, I know he lives in a realm above us. I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with always pulling his ass down from that realm so that he can be on the same plane. It has no problem with it. It takes a special breed. But as we all know from every manga and every anime we've ever read, there's always that one item, person, thing, or place that it just happens to be there that always somehow either can break the unbreakable or exceed the strongest of all things. So
Except for the beginning after the end.
Hey, the writing just has to be like on par with like Urobuchi's like Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Oh, shut up!
Now he's just trolling though.
All right, we're moving on because you're just trying to get me all right up with this bullshit. All right,
trying to get you riled up.
Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's move over to some legendary Moonlight Sculptor. Oh, I know we stopped with the last chapter with a new person jumping into the game in a orc body.
Orc body.
And we got in the previous chapter that it was the doctor. The doctor decided to join the game.
Yes, the doctor of waifu, I guess.
Of one waifu.
Young or whatever her name is.
Yep. Of one waifu. Granted, because she's been missing for a bit, so we got to find some way to kind of lead back into that. But she's now jumped into the game, and I don't believe she's just there to just have fun, and specifically, I think I don't believe she said she's looking for weed in any way, but she is on a quest for something. So we now have another opponent or another player in the mix that definitely will at some point meet up with Weed. Weed himself has moved over, he was working with the Artisan Guild, but now he's decided to take up blacksmithing instead. And at the same time, we've got a gathering of the entire territory because they are now trying to deal with the massive heat wave that's going on because of that other group that decided to just, randomly attack a god entity level monster, and it just calamity the entire continent. Because in this game, you can one person can screw it up for everybody very hard. Or they can open
in RuneScape. When somebody had some type of disease in game, and then he went into town and spread that disease, and there was a whole.
Oh, you're talking the World of Warcraft plague.
Oh yeah, the World of Warcraft plague. Yeah.
Because we didn't know it would be able to do that. Oops. But yeah.
Fucked it all up for everybody else.
Oh man. Yeah, so not too much from these two chapters that we got from that. It was still more set up, just Weed basically doing what he does again, overdoing that workload just to the next level and getting the best stats so he can get the best equipment, which he does produce. At the same time, also setting up that I'm guessing that he and I don't know what their names were again, but we got this husband-wife combo have shown up, and they're joining the raid. They were in the lineup, and we saw them just sitting there. I don't know if that may be a new group or a new set that he's going to meet up with, and they're going to somehow be a part of the story going forward. I'm sure in the light novel they've far exceeded that, but we did see them in there, so I'm not sure if that's going to be what that is. And I do know that I don't know if they were trying to look for a specific blacksmith or something. I think that's Overgeared. I think that's another one I'm thinking of. But
yeah, that was Overgeared.
Yep.
Yeah.
Specific blacksmith.
Yeah, very specific blacksmith. But in this one, I know that the guild that's more or less doing the requisite to gain everybody, and the boss is trying to basically make out the plans of how this is going to work, but his subordinates are more or less we don't really want to take on all these extra people and all the shit that's going to happen, so we're more or less using them for fodder, and we're not going to tell them about this so that we can also gain all the extra spoils from all these groups basically taking all the damage for that. So I don't know if when we joins, they're going to be the thorn in his side, he's going to somehow make everyone better than they should be, because he's going to either give them extra bonus stats and all that kind of stuff, and then that's going to throw a whole fucking wrench in the plan. But yeah, so I'm not sure if I gleaned too much out of everything, because there was just more or less a lot of setup for this one, a lot of the other stories. Nothing yet on the other group. They're still were they in the caverns or something, or no? They were
in a forest.
They were in a forest. They were in a forest, and they were with the sword noobs, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. They're with the sword noobs right now. So they're just off on a side adventure. Even after so quickly just meeting back up with Weed, they already went off somewhere else. But yeah, so we're getting ready for the next big arc, which which definitely seems like it's gonna be taking on this god level boss, which
Calamity.
Yes, the Calamity. Better term for that. So do we see do we see any more Weed meeting up maybe with the Doctor and that somehow throwing into this mix, or do we see him creating a new group now? Since we got the Doctor introduction, we got the two couple. No idea.
I really can't see where this is going forward in the future.
Still a little.
I would assume that Weed is going to probably end up joining that big-ass raid, since he literally soloed a Calamity class raid himself.
I mean,
by recruiting a bunch of elves and orcs,
I mean, yeah, there is all that. I'm kind of wondering if hopefully the blacksmithing will be the new profession for him for a little bit, so he can gain more money, because that seems to be what he's been trying to herd up and get back onto.
Yeah, since he spent all of his money on literally that Calamity.
That raid, yeah, that personal raid. He spent most of his amassed funds. Not to mention, we're still waiting for more info on the outside story arc of him having to go to school, which was another thing that he was worried about.
I've yet to see Dane again. He did come back in the game. And
I'm pretty sure this chapter.
We saw memories of her.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say we saw a glimpse of her in this one, but I think it was memories of her of talking about him. So I'm sure that we'll see Dane here pretty soon. We know that she's back in the world. She hasn't caught up with anybody yet. So, yeah. I'll be waiting for when that clash happens between everybody, because I know that they'll all meet up at some point and they'll have to form either some massive raid party. Granted, I believe they did give him there was a dialogue about him trying to start a guild, right?
They mentioned about it like as an idea, yes. Yeah,
and he like told him, no, fuck that, because that takes too much money, but he's pretty much already amassed enough friends that he could basically create a guild. So yeah, we'll still have to wait and see what the later chapter brings for that. I was really hoping that one site that we had before, I haven't seen if they've been like doing super fast extra chapters, because there was one, but they were like 6 chapters ahead. So it seems like it's slowed down a bit, but hopefully we'll get a little bit more to bite on for going forward in some later talks with that. Anything else on that one that y'all wanted to bring up? We all goody?
No.
All right, cool. All right, let's go ahead and move over here to a lawless land with Inso. We are at the school talent show, and we've been given the roles. Homegirl is going to be doing a play with Rudal, and at the same time, we got a very lovely performance of the 4 kings and Euro Yang doing a very, very hot number. Yeah, so I'm not sure if that was just a win overall, or she was definitely trying to maybe over-impress. But I'm not sure what. I can never tell with that girl. But yeah, so we get through some of the performances. Well, first there's a contest. Basically, they needed two people from each group, a girl and a guy, and the guy had to hold up the girl, and basically the last person to
the legendary princess.
Yes, the legendary princess hold. The last group to drop would basically get to go last in the contest. But we know that very clearly Euro Yang had a plan, because she actually asked Homeboy to let her down, because they basically determined since it was down to those two, she was never gonna fall if it came down to it. But we get to the whole contest, we get to that, and then we get to Rudal and Danai doing their performance, which looks like it's just an ordinary day in the classroom, but turns into basically a love play, and the big ending with Rudal landing a kiss. And Euro Yang doesn't look like she's too happy about that. I'm feeling another German suplex is coming.
We'll see.
Nah, we'll see.
We'll see.
According to Ark, he called a death flag.
Death flag.
Yes. He called a death flag on that.
I mean, it's like, okay, so in most other like webcomics and all this stuff, like this was definitely a death flag, right? Like,
was it a death flag? Because one person actually made a full physical move?
Yes. Like, it normally, like, if in any sort of like this kind of like story and stuff like this, if a character had made a move like this, then it's a death flag. It's like, oh no, this character is going to die now. Why? Because he confessed his love, and the main character doesn't know it yet. Like,
okay, so but is it a death flag?
She's not going to. It's not like, come on, like the way the trope of the story is, it's not an actual death flag, but it would have been if this was a regular story.
Okay. Okay, I could see that. I mean, I would figure it's more of a flag for Homeboy, since previous chapter we got the fact that, two of the kings basically finally fessed up like, hey, we both have feelings for her. And now this happened, especially the one dude who basically just straight up hates Ru-Dal. Like, basically tried to fight him in the bathroom. So,
Blue Boy.
Yes. So now you have this going on. So now we think that what's up? You can't remember names.
Yeah, I just know about the color.
Remember the hair color. That's how we distinguish. It's hair color. But yeah, so I would figure there's going to be the flag is now everyone else going to start jumping up. Like, oh, okay, so now everyone's got to step up their their commitment game to this, or are they all going to band together and just be like, all right, fuck that guy.
No, I feel like what it is the MC is gonna brush it off like, oh, it's still just a girl. Do you understand this? And then everyone's like,
I mean, even though she's getting more and more hints, it's like, oh no, this is a guy.
Slowly,
it's going to like occur to her at all that it's a guy.
I mean,
yeah, because that I still thinks that Lee Ru-Dal is a girl.
I mean, yeah,
it's just remain that way and be like, oh. Okay, so this was a kiss from a friend or something.
We all know we're gonna get the Osen scene, and she's just gonna like watch her walk into the boys' bathroom. She's like, "Wait a minute, what?" And then we just get everyone in towels. That's all we're waiting for. So, but yeah, I mean, either way, the whole thing with this is it's been trying to subvert all the tropes, even though it shows us the tropes, but then basically goes in a separate direction of that trope. Even though she still tends to fall into a lot of the tropes or even end up creating like pseudo variants of them in some way. But this has been the only character so far that we've seen that's like pushed as hard to like get into that love angle trope for her. Even though she's tried everything to basically like shut that down, Ru-Dal just constantly pushes forward to that path. So
trying his very best.
Yes. So I don't know if we'll get to that final, if we're getting to that conflict finally where she's just straight up like, no, or like you think maybe it will be a true death flag and it just ends up with, him disappearing for a while.
Ru-Dal vanishing because of the guys in.
I mean, there's still the real the black suited guys that just show up and chase him.
Black still chase him.
I mean, the boy still jumps out a 2-story window just to go home. So, but yeah, just a nice, fun little shock to a chapter, and there for that. Looking forward to seeing what the outcome will be for Dan-I. Not to mention Yero Yang, who's gone to so many lengths. To basically, just block out every potential suitor that she can. I'd like to see if she actually does something evil for once, because we know she's not below. We know she's not beneath doing it. Mm-hmm. And she's got Homeboy on her side. We know how evil he actually is, how truly evil he is.
We can get rid of him.
I mean,
he's
got that connection. He's got that hookup. So, but yeah, just a nice fun chapter all around for this one. Hopefully we'll get a lot more. We'll have to see where things lead to going forward. Any more to say on that one from you two? We'll move along here.
No.
All right, we're good. But
play jump rope with Lee Ru-Dal's intestines, like he said before.
So violent from these cute things. But since we're already in the world of violence, let's get more violent with the god of high school. It is Mookhyang Park versus Satine. And not with the fro. Yeah, so
I can't be the only one who's like bored with this, right?
No, I'm not the only one.
Okay.
I was like sitting here a little bit ago reading. I was like, why?
Why does this fight?
No reason for this.
Why does this fight go on?
Yeah, there's no reason for it. Like I get that they wanted to have a little bit more, but
because we need to have a power escalation. That's why. And they have to fulfill the prophecy.
And now Mookhyang Park is like about to become the ultimate deity because he just ate Satan's heart.
Yep.
Well,
we already, like I said before, he already had the wings.
Mookhyang Park was like, your soul is mine.
Yeah, pretty fucking much.
He just Shang Tsung'd him, just
He's already got
forever.
Targatha. He's got fucking the Sun Wukong stuff. He's got the headband. He's taking
the headband.
He's taking the dragon armor. You know,
or a version of it.
Yeah, he's
got true dragon armor.
August. He's got Mandala that somehow Satan stole.
I mean, one of Satan's abilities. What's yours is mine. I mean, he did the same thing to.
Satan just copies. That's what it is.
Yeah, he did the same.
He doesn't actually steal it. He just copies exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
So, but yeah, I mean, the fight dragging on. Granted, we knew that Satan wasn't going to be able to beat him by the end of the day. We knew that wasn't going to happen. I mean,
no, which is why I was like, this fight is useless.
I mean,
reason for it, honestly.
I mean, the reason for it is because we need futility. We need to have and we already knew that Satan was around. So we need a futile fight. We need to find someone.
No, none of these characters need to be around because when he killed all the gods, they should have just been dead, and then like we just move on to him fighting against Jin, and then Jin wins, and then we'd be fine.
But he did kill all the gods. But he didn't kill all the gods.
Filler chapter, dude.
I mean, essentially,
this whole fight is a filler. I'm gonna be honest here.
You know, this is like you're watching Bleach, right? And then you're in the middle of the fight between Ichigo and Grimjaw, and they're like, guys, we're not gonna go do a filler in the middle of the fight. And you're like,
what's Ichigo's
and then they come back to the fight, and then they're like, all right, now we're continue a little bit. They're like, guys, we have another filler. You're like, no, you could have had a filler in the middle of the fight twice. Okay, stop this.
And that's what's kind of happening here, because we had filler with like those four pillars, you know.
The 4 pillars appearing.
Extra filler for Satan, you know. And what's next? The
4 pillars show up to like guard him, right?
Well, they basically gave him his power.
Yeah, but they do absolutely
but then they
nothing.
They
literally stood around and did nothing.
Yes. Why introduce these characters? There was no point to them.
All they did was give the homie a robe, and that was it.
A robe, his bell, the weird dagger. You know,
Mandala dagger, yeah.
They just got to show that there's more behind everything. Yeah, I mean,
too much.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
It's hard to defend on a lot of levels. It seems like we're padding some of these things out for sure. I mean, did he kill the devil? I mean, he beat up the devil, but I don't think the devil died.
He's actually Satan?
No,
not Satan. The devil. There's the devil, and then there's Satan.
Odin.
Odin.
No, Odin is not dead.
Yeah, he's sitting over there.
He killed Odin once, and Odin just came back, and he was like, "Nah, I'm fine." And that's why Odin is explaining everything about Satan. And I was like, "You do realize it is really late to explain things about Satan, right? Like, this is supposed to be the fucking end here, and we're still getting like more fucking exposition, and I don't need this anymore. Just be done. We should just be done. When you end a flashback, that should be the exposition, all you needed, and that was fine. But then now we're getting more exposition after the flashback, and I was like, I don't care anymore. I don't need any more explanation for things. Please, stop.
I mean, I would have been fine with Satan coming in and fighting, because just the fact that he wants to destroy all the gods, and the gods aren't just gonna like go down easy. And Satan has already been shown.
Satan doesn't give a fuck about any of that. Satan literally was just like, nah, I just want to fight you.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's all it is.
He's like, I just want to fight you.
And that's what it should have been. There should have been no explanation. It should have just been Satan comes in and goes, hey, you're here because you're powerful. I want to fuck you up. And that's where it should have gone. And that's pretty much what this chapter was trying to get to. It's just literally him throwing down.
Like, oh shit, you're the most powerful in the universe? All right, bet, let's fight.
Yeah. Which is exactly what this chapter was. So essentially, we didn't need the previous chapter. We just needed this chapter. We just needed this fight to occur, because it's just like, oh, you're strong? Okay, fuck it, let's do this. And it just all boils down to it playing down into the prophecy more. Satan is another key that he needed, and he absorbs him, and now he has his wings. which he already had wings.
But that's the thing. We didn't need to see him absorb Satan. He could just be like, "Oh, I have red wings already," and then that's the next.
That's
questioned it. No one
I didn't understand that part. That part just confused me entirely. Like, wait, you already had wings. Why'd you need more wings?
Yeah, you literally had one wing on one side.
Boy, if you needed more wings, you could have gone down. You could have run down to Earth, gone to the fucking Quick Mart, and got yourself a Red Bull. That you'd have been done. There, no more, no less.
Like,
yeah. So,
this is
dragging.
Hey,
this is dragging.
Please stop beating a dead horse. We are here. Just please end it. All right. This is getting to the point where, like, again, like you compare it to like 7 Deadly Sins. This is getting to that point. The only thing that would make this all exactly as 7 Deadly Sins is to find out
after this there's something else.
Oh no! Oh, I was your lover in your past life too, and I'm like, no, Mookhyang, you can't do that. Okay, I don't need this. All right, like,
not allowed.
Well,
no one needs any more.
That would be even weirder since he ate his past lover. So that would just be extra awkward if that went down. Oh man. Yeah.
I'm having negative remarks for once.
Yeah, I can't fight a lot of this. Even I saw this, I looked at this, I went, I'm happy to see a fight, but
we were already in the middle of a fight. I didn't need you to interject another fight in a fight.
Yeah, no,
that's the problem here.
All of my words, Ark's mouth, just all of the thoughts in my head over there. That's what I got. But I'm just trying to like not freak out about it. So yeah. Hopefully we've only got a chapter or so more left with this.
So let me see here. So if we count Fast Pass, right? So Fast Pass has like 3 chapters ahead of this at least, right? 3 or 5, right?
It can have more. It's totally dependent on the writer.
Yeah. So.
Creator, sorry.
But the thing here is, this means that this was being written when the anime was being adapted and being done, and I feel like I was like, are we just stretching this along because the anime is going along, so like it continues to sell? Is this what this is? Because if it is, this is very poorly done, and this is very bad. Like, is it because you don't want to like have the webtoon be finished so people know exactly what's going to happen anyways and don't need to watch the anime then? Is this what's going on? Because this is really, really bad. Okay, I can't deal with this. This is it basically means that, like, as bad as the anime that, like, the adaptation anime that I have a fucking problem already with is now interfering with the webtoon, and that makes the webtoon even worse. Like, can you imagine? That's exactly what's going on. Like, is that how it feels like? The adaptation is so bad that it is interfering with the webtoon?
I mean, that's not hard to believe. It's not hard to believe. I don't like it, but it's not hard to believe that it would occur. I mean,
this is.
Do you remember Game of Thrones?
Yes.
I can't say anything.
No, I'm just saying, but it's the same kind of idea. The fact that he stopped writing the books for a while until the show finished, so people wouldn't know, and then just stop watching the show. So the same kind of logic. But yeah, I get you. I mean, hopefully this doesn't entirely end itself as badly as 7 Deadly Sins did. I mean, granted, the anime did, in its second season, it started doing some really bad things to begin with anyway, so it hit.
Animation started.
Oh God. So yeah, I don't know. I can't say. I'm just hoping that it gets to the point of its conclusion. I know that the Fast Pass is already for it, and basically that gives us a glimpse of exactly how much more they've got to write. We still have Mira and W.E.B.T.O.O.N to show up and battle up because they want to take on Park, and
all we're gonna do is just show up and be like, the power of friendship wins, and we're done. That's all. That's exactly what the ending is here, right?
I mean,
like that. That's why the show. That's why it consists of 3 main characters. It's going to be the power of friendship to win. Cool, got it. just be done with it where there's point already, okay?
Yeah.
That was the whole point. Like that's why like Monkey King was always about like, oh hey, it's me and my brothers, right? We do this together. I traveled I traveled along with, you know, Piggy and also what's the cow guy, right? Yeah, right? He's like, oh, we traveled together and as brothers we went along this journey, and that was the whole point of it. I'm like, is the whole point is to mirror that again? And that's why we have W.E.B.T.O.O.N and Mira. Like, okay, cool. Just give me the power of friendship and we're done. We're done here, right?
Well, it's the power of friendship actually winning this time and not turning into a backstab again. Which seems to have been his...
No, it wasn't a backstab. It was a lie. It was always a fucking lie is what it was.
Well...
Wait, it's a lie? Oh,
no, because Tata Gara was like, nah, I just lied the entire time. I basically just tricked you.
Well, I mean, it was a backstab because in the other one, his brother is also, well, what's his name? Betrayed him. Not Leviathan. I can't remember the bird. Garuda, yeah. He betrays them. So, it one time was a lie, which was a backstab for that. And then it was another backstab because the power of friendship kind of screwed me over. So, this is the power of friendship hopefully working this time. Out of all of it, maybe he'll get his own Scott Pilgrim sword. I don't know. Either way, I think we've definitely beaten the dead horse again down a little bit more. I don't think there's too much more we can at least speak on the chapter because once again, it was just a fight chapter, a fight filler. We'll have to see. I'm sure that there's more than a few people that have already read the Fast Pass and then can pretty much tell us exactly how much longer this battle continues to play out. But yeah, hopefully there is an end in sight and it's not 50 more chapters down the road. Because I really
hope he's just like, oh, I'm just gonna stretch this out to chapter 500 and we're done.
I don't know. I mean, he's not far off. They're not far off. We're not far off at all. But either way, I'll go ahead and move us on from this one since we've already killed that one completely out the gate. Let's go ahead and let's actually speak with a good master in the Descent of the Demonic Master here. Yeah. Homegirl is still on it.
Yep, going to his pizza joint.
Of course she is. I told you she was going to.
Of course she is. How can you say of course she is? How can you be sure of a course she is? You don't know. I mean,
because you can't stop crazy.
Because I mean, hey, look at his one friend. How long did it take for her to finally get it through? Like, oh, he's just not.
Yeah, but his one friend was not fucking crazy though. This bitch is like, nah.
Yo, she's psychotic. She literally tracked his ass down to his fucking pizza job.
I mean, tracked. She asked his sister. She asked a coworker. She
got information tracking it.
She asked a coworker. She turned around and went, "Hey, what's your brother doing?" "Oh, he's at a shop." That's it. She didn't call in 2 favors. She didn't have a Secret Service agent. She just turned around. No, the crazy is that she stayed at the shop all day and didn't eat pizza.
She got a pizza to eat.
She did get a pizza, but she basically just stayed there and she wasn't eating it. She just was chilling there, and then she finally ate it. But our MC is just like, once again, I don't want to do this.
Leave me the fuck alone.
I mean, not even in the coldest way, just in the nicest. I don't want to deal with this.
I just want to work, okay?
I just want to do this job.
I just want to have a regular life. Can you leave me alone, please?
No, why would I be able to have a regular life? I'm a goddamn monster.
Just let me die. Just let me die.
Just let me make
that's what this is. That's what this is, Libby.
That's what this is?
Let me die.
No.
Please.
Nope. You need to keep us safe.
Sorry, but that ain't happening, Chief.
Not anytime soon. But yeah, so at least he gets more busy. He continues to get business at the pizza shop because she's there. So that's at least a nice boon/benefit to him. But the big thing from this is that how that chapter actually ends. And that's with a sudden car crash. Little sis is on her way. I don't know if she's on her way home or she's finishing a shoot. and we get to see a panel of just, and so speculation all over. Is this a kidnapping? Is this a crazed fan? Or is this just an?
Or is she being targeted from?
Or is she being targeted from the association?
I mean, it could be a crazed fan because
I mean, we already have the. I know that's why. That's why I said that. We already have the one panel of the crazed fan.
That's a realistic answer.
That was I'm going with all the options I can think of. You know,
from like what I've seen for the Red King, he's too nice. He doesn't want to do that.
Well, he doesn't play that way.
His subordinates, on the other hand,
yeah. The other hand, I'm not so sure, and I don't know exactly how far the one collection is willing to go or willing to do something stupid.
And I'm heavily banking on a crazed fan because what type of association has a goddamn Mitsubishi Outlander?
I mean, I don't know.
That's white and not black.
You
see, like every other type of organization, they got black cars.
Yeah,
they got black cars. That's
facts. You got facts there. So, but
that's like the biggest thing I'm basing it off of.
Well, either way, hopefully Sister isn't hurt. Otherwise, that other person is probably gonna die.
Oh yeah.
Because Big Brother does not play at all.
And even then, he's probably not going to kill him. He's going to torture him like he did that one guy.
I don't know. That one dude is dead.
No, not him. The guy before that.
Okay. Okay. I see what you're talking about. The one dude and the other girl.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so either way, just a shock end for that. Just. I didn't think we were going to get more with the little sister being involved in this, especially since he's already had like 2 speeches of like, learning to trust others, letting them do their thing, and knowing that, you don't need to be around all this time. And then this occurs, which could be one of a few things, which, as we speculated.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. I'm guessing that this is going to at least be another way to lead what's her name back into his life even more so, because I'm sure she's going to be somehow involved in some way. But yeah, so not too much from this, just another setup chapter for something big to come. Hopefully, if it is anything, hopefully it isn't just a crazed fan, and it is potentially a move from one of the other groups trying to do something about this.
Yeah, from either the Korean Association or the Red Kings Association, the Chinese Association.
I mean, I've been surprised that he's at least been able to keep his family from everything that's happened so far. Because, I mean, he's been kind of adopted by this powerful president of a conglomerate corporation. He's just randomly decided to go on a trip in the woods and met up with the Yakuza. And that got him no trouble at home. He's had a demonic assassin sent after him. He's been approached in his dad's place of business by the other group. And yet they've had none the wiser of just like, you just keep meeting a lot of strange and really awkward people. You want to tell us something? Or you just gonna like keep this to yourself? But granted, our daughter is also, an up and coming idol. So this doesn't seem too weird. Maybe.
That doesn't seem too far-fetched.
Yeah, just strange black-suited men just show up all the time. It's whatever.
A lot of freaking ones we're reading right now. Yeah.
There's also some blonde kid that keeps jumping out of the school and running down the street from us. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Huge, man.
I don't know, but either way, hopefully a little bit more on that to come with latest chapters. We'll see. I'm gonna guess we'll get one tomorrow too. We'll probably get another chapter drop because it's been just about a couple days. This is a new week for it, so we'll see what we get out of that one. But we're gonna move to our last one, our greatest one, with the beginning after the end.
Arthur goes home.
Arthur does go home, and we get a big happy family reunion. Sis comes running out.
Massive tackle hug from little sister. All right, wholesome shit already. Dad
does what dad always does. What level you at? All right, we gonna fight. And of course, and of course, the loving scene of mom seeing her one and only, her oldest, back from the adventures, ready to start school. And
she didn't want to play the worry mom.
Nope, she didn't want to play the worry mom card. But we do
Even if she saw a flashing red ring, oh hell no.
Yeah, but we do get at least information that the family friend's daughter, she's at school now. She's already in classes, so we know that that's already on the way. And our homeboy, not Lucas,
Ethan
is joining up with him in school, and he's getting him sponsored from, of course, the trade group. So now he's got at least a nice full squad to be in class with. Granted, I'm surprised the family didn't ask anything about Sylvie. Like, oh, she was tiny and black before. Now she's this white creature. But
they're just not surprised anymore.
They're just not surprised.
Especially after hearing that he's hit the light orange stage.
Yep. And giving his dad the Mana Beast orb and telling him to use it in order to break through to the next level. I don't want to. I'll get to that point at the very, very end there. But we also, after the whole reunion and everything, we get the hot hentai scenes here with Arthur and Ethan. Basically, him just explaining what's about to be going down, and Ethan taking a shower and him walking in on him and doing the whole "What the fuck you doing?" kind of thing.
I love you.
And it's like, well, it's my bathroom. But yeah, so these two chapters were basically just nice cool down chapters, just wholesome family, get everything back into a nice medium before what we're going to be seeing going forward. Also, a little pop of the word Lucas again, just to make sure we all remember.
Thanks.
No problem. Just one more time. But the chapter, the way the chapter ends with his dad giving him back the orb and him wondering why it hasn't cracked, and the fact that he finds another beast will inside. And not just specifically any beast will, but the beast will of the guardian plant that he took out. So, do we see him selling this or absorbing for another beast will?
Giving to his sister?
Maybe?
I mean, giving it to his sister would probably be the biggest play. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I wouldn't. I figured he would give it to somebody. Somebody he would care for. Now the question is the way.
Give it to Elf Waifu?
That's also another way. That'd be another big play. I ain't gonna lie.
Granted.
What are you trying to tell us here, Ark?
I mean, yeah, we still haven't heard much from Tessa yet, but I would figure it would probably go well with her being, one with the forest. Why not have a forest guardian as your beast will? Granted, there's no saying that she may not have already gotten a beast will herself because grandpa. So just maybe not 100% sure. I don't know what he might do with it. All to say, because it is a pretty fucking powerful beast will, I would think. So
I mean, it's an S-rank beast.
Yeah,
like this thing is big deal.
Yeah, so you definitely want to give it to somebody somebody that's not going to use it against you, for sure.
I could really see Tassia having those beast will compared to his little sister, considering the fact that Cassia will be on more adventures with him compared to his little sister.
Yeah, I think she would probably be a little off with that.
But giving it to his little sister to hold down the fort, would also be something that I could see happening.
Maybe,
especially if his sister becomes an adventurer.
True. We're not sure, much on how her personality, at least to the outside world, really has been gauged yet. But
especially with seeing how much his sister can progress with the magic and cultivation, this could be really big for his sister.
Yeah, well, we're still seeing what her actual abilities come out to. My bank is guessed that she's also going to be a deviant like her mother in some way. And if anything, yeah, her getting a beast will would...
Again, having a beast will like that would be perfect because she could be both a healer and an attacker.
So, yeah. So definitely a lot of speculation for at least what we're going to end up seeing him do with that. but I am just more excited to get him into the classroom and see what he's going to do to all the kids, because that was definitely one thing they talked about. I'm guessing that clearly foreshadowing with Ethan being super happy about seeing other powerful mage users and getting pointers, and my guessing it's going to be a school of elitist assholes that are very much going to look down on the first years, and of course when they find out that we're not your average fucking first years, don't mess with us. Mm-hmm. How that'll play out. Not to mention also I'm best friends with the elven princess. So don't mess with me. I got a personal recommendation from the headmistress of the whole academy. Yeah.
So right now Arthur is sitting pretty good with all his connections.
He's sitting pretty good with his connections. And it seems like he's definitely working on building some other ones. Because the one line he gave off where he said, it's now a good time to use what I've learned in my past life, or in my first life. So he's trying to build something else. I don't know exactly what he's alluding to, but he's definitely working on something.
Or guns, come on.
What's up?
The power of guns.
The power of guns. I mean,
would
it really do anything in this world? When you have magic
guns.
If you have magic guns? I don't know. Yeah. The power of modern murder. Either way.
A whole ass cannon. A portable cannon.
A portable cannon. I don't know. He seems really attached to the magic blade that took a shit ton of draining power to get with anyway. And we're still waiting to see what actually can do. But yeah. This was, once again, a lot of these chapters, all setup chapters this week for a lot of stuff. A lot of either a lot of closing out of other arcs or just beginning into new ones. But I don't know. I know, Ark, you're reading the light novel for this. I don't know how far ahead it is. I've been trying not to look into it. I know are they still in the school arc in the light novel, or are they done with that?
I'm not telling you anything.
Thanks.
You can't let us know that the light novel's done.
The light novel is not done.
The light novel's not done.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah, the light novel's not done. I just don't know where they're at.
I'm not caught up. The translations I'm reading is not done yet.
Okay. I mean, I didn't think they were, because I'm on the Discord for the beginning of it with the actual creators, and they're still posting stuff pretty regularly. So, yeah, I don't know how far ahead into the story it is, but I've been at least keeping my gaze away from any of the sections for the light novel. Just trying to keep my spoilers out as much as possible. But still, I'm at least enjoying this one, and I haven't heard any negative side effects from anyone who's reading the light novel that says like, oh, the translation is poor, or it's not as great from one to the other. So at least everything is on track and it's going well. Anything at this one that you two wanted to bring up? Any characters we're missing? Any characters we want to see again?
You already know who I'm waiting for. So.
You're just waiting for Tess.
Yes.
You
got like 3 years, dog. Alright.
You got a problem. Oh boy, I'm kind of hoping other elven dude shows up. The one who's just like, I don't know who you are.
And then Tessie's gonna rub up on him and be like, yeah, now you know. And then Lucas is gonna see it and be like, the fuck?
I am ready for that boy to just catch so much fire, just everything.
He's gonna be catching his hands.
That boy gonna catch way more than that. Arthur's slowly but surely coming himself a little smoke demon, for sure. So, either way, but that does bring us to the last of it. That's everything for this week. We've covered all that we can. So hopefully we'll get a little bit more. I know we've still got quite a few other books that we're catching up on. Hopefully we'll also have one to replace for God of High School when that finally finishes. I know that, like I think I brought it up in the beginning.
At the rate we're going.
No, at the rate we're going, yeah. But definitely a lot of other good reads out there, especially with Omniscient Viewpoints catching up. I know that Red Storm is still going pretty strong for itself. And we did get the news that SUI is basically taking a huge, massive break from Tower of God, and that's on now a perpetual hiatus. We don't know when that's coming back, but it's not canceled. He's just on a hiatus, and granted, he's the same as the God of High School. He's pretty much been releasing a chapter consistently, year over year, every week, right? Yeah, so I think with no break, so I think he's good.
He totally deserves it.
Yeah, I think they're good to take a break. I mean, we're 400 something chapters in.
We're like at 439 or something like that.
Yeah, I think that whole team's good to take a breather for a little bit. We've got plenty of other reads going out right now. Did you guys catch the newest chapter for White Blood? Finally dropped?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, go to that. Yeah.
I haven't even started it.
Oh, well, it's only 20-ish chapters in. Go for it. You read it in an evening. It's super fast.
I'll read it while I'm go-karting tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. You better take pictures of that. I want to see that.
All right, I got you.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and we can close out for this one for show. Jimmy, you are the magic man at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this episode of the Project Webtoon Podcast. If you guys liked, leave a like. If you guys enjoyed our content, make sure to subscribe. If you guys want to stay updated with our content, make sure to hit that little bell. And make sure to check out the description so you guys can hit that, all my links down below, so you guys can see where we are all at. All of our individual Twitters, all of our Twitch, our Discord, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Play Music, literally everything.
Yep. I think we're gonna hopefully get started up on our streams here pretty soon. I was already given. Haven't caught up or really read too much of Gosu, and I've been told to just actually do a stream of that of that to start off. So that might be my first one going through, but hopefully we'll get that one up soon. Also keep an eye out for more recommendations that'll be dropping here, hopefully a little bit. But yeah, thank you all once again for joining us on this latest of the episodes. I'll go ahead and close us out. It is your big dog. It's Slippy.
It's your boy Seraph here.
And this is Arc out.
Hey, everyone take it easy out there.